Good evening. With any luck, my audio should be substantially clearer now. If it isn't, please let me know immediately. I have fiddled with some settings off stream to try and make myself more easily interpreted. Also, it seems like the last thing that I did last week was finish up this level. This world, even. But yeah, hopefully I'm more legible, and hopefully there's less background noise. And I just have to find the balloon. Hey, the balloon. I was gonna say I just had to find a balloon to move on.
Well done, Spyro. I hope you know what lies in store for you.
Yep, Nasty's world.
Nasty's world is not the friendliest place you'll ever find. Are you ready to go?
Whoops.
Need a lift?
I just got a Gaporia. Anyway. It's like, you ready to go there? No. Actually, yes. Dragons really are cats. Scratch at the door to be let in, you open the door, they turn around and leave. Nasty's world is a very condensed hub. But yeah, thoughts on the current audio levels? Oops. Like, not too loud, not too quiet. Is there background noise leaking through that shouldn't be?
Hey, didn't I already free you?
You're in Nasty's world now, Spyro. And you are the dragon that must defeat him.
Bring him on. I'm ready.
Reach the exit in each of Nasty's lands. Then you can challenge the Nork himself.
You forgot I made him flat. Yeah. I think in the original, you could straight up reduce him to a plane. Like, if you looked at him head on, you just straight up would not see anything except maybe a line of pixels. In this one, they let him keep just a little bit of chunk. Not a plane because planes can fly. That's rude. He's trying his best. And very capable of, like, incineration-type violence. So I'm disinclined to mock him where he can hear me. His fist is on the ground. You're so mean. You're not wrong, though. Oh, that's another thing. Can you hear my controller clicking? Because something that I've noticed in the past is that my controller made some very loud noises when I was, like, using it. Not that you can tell. Wonderful. You know, I was watching back my recent Monster Hunter VOD, where I was playing as Akuma. Or Akuma, rather. And just the clickety-clackety was relentless. I was like, oh no. Let's get the dragon first.
Keep up the good work, Spyro. I expect Nasty's really starting to worry about you.
I'd be shaking in my Nork boots if I were him.
I do mash, but like me mashing makes noise. And like, to be fair, I wouldn't mash if it wasn't the best way to play games. It's like I want the input to come out as fast as possible. That means I have to put as many of them in as possible. It's like that Bruce Lee quote, I don't fear somebody who's practiced 10,000 inputs. I fear somebody who does the one input 10,000 times. Can I charge this, or will that just make it instantly explode? Instant explosion, good to know. I probably want to use that one instead. Imagine hanging out on top of a giant explosive and then expecting not to get exploded. Then again, I, of all people, cannot criticize for that. You know, a ruby is the lowest denomination in Spyro. Like, it's 1 unit of currency. But, like... I wonder how much, like, an actual ruby IRL would go for if it was that size. Probably nothing approaching what you might call a small number. Oh no. Well, that's a little bit embarrassing. Ow. I don't throw bombs at myself, I throw bombs and then fail to make adequate distance. Also, yeah, that last death was entirely on me, but if memory serves, Nasty's World is like a fairly substantial difficulty spike, actually. Oh, we love a good domino.
Wow, I never thought I'd be rescued, especially by such a little dragon. What I mean is, I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta believe.
Imagine getting rescued and then immediately roasting the person who rescued you. It's like, you want to go back in the crystal? This is how you end up back in the crystal. You know, come to think of it, I wonder if Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time and Nasty Nork went to, like, Warlock school together. Because, like, OOT Ganondorf traps Zelda in Crystal, and then Nork obviously traps, like, a bunch of dragons in Crystal. I wonder if they, like, hang out on the weekends. Argue about whether purple or green is a more obnoxious color. Actually, wait, Nork is green. Maybe they don't have that argument. That'd be like me getting into an argument where one of the sides is like, foxes are really annoying. Actually, bad example. I'm the first person who will agree with you on that one. It's kind of our hat. Yeah. Oh, I was so worried for a second there. Awesome, level complete. We are getting up there. Next up is the Twilight Harbor, which, if memory serves, is actually a location in World of Warcraft as well. It'd be really interesting if one of these portals just dropped me off in, like, Azeroth, and then I could, like, run around and, like, set fire to WoW players. Blizzard just keeps trying to patch you and it just doesn't work. No, that's an unrealistic scenario. Blizzard would never patch something that negatively impacted the player experience. I haven't played a Blizzard game in years, and I haven't played World of Warcraft in particular in longer than that. But like, there was always a community meme, which was that Blizzard only ever removed fun from the game. If you found a way to have fun, they would patch it out. Like, if you found a combination of abilities that, for example, made traversing a really annoying area easier, they would just make it so that those abilities didn't work together, or didn't work in that area.
Thank you for rescuing me.
That guy had a pretty cool staff. I used to have like a really nice, like, long bleached wood staff. Well, it was more like a stick, but like it was perfectly shaped to be a staff. Unfortunately, I had to leave it behind when I moved out of my parents' house. It's like, how am I ever going to look like a spellcaster now? We can tilt this bridge upwards. I vaguely remember being stuck on this level for ages.
Be on the lookout for no commandos, Spyro.
They better be on the lookout for me.
You know, I remember something here taking an exceedingly long time to figure out. I don't remember what, which is actually a good thing, because it means I get to figure it out again. And therein lies the enjoyment. I do know that I can ratchet this upwards and then supercharge off of it. So let's start there as a baseline. Very rude man with gun. I probably also have to carry the supercharge over there to open that chest up. So let's do that. Well, that was pretty straightforward. Love to see it. Who needs good handling? Just jump over all the obstacles. I feel like if I could jump as high as the average video game protagonist, I would have a lot of fun just jumping. Like, look at this. Spyro must be jumping 5 times his own height. Imagine if I could jump 25 feet into the air. Also, these guys were playing Splatoon back in like the 1990s. They were ahead of the game. Okay, now I'm wondering what I had difficulty with last time. Like, I'm not complaining, I'm just like, huh. I distinctly remember something taking me like an hour. Anyway, here's the man himself, Nasty Narc. Final stage of the game, ignore the final dragon head. I wonder if I should keep Spyro flat or make him cool for this one. I'll keep him flat for now. Yep. There's the man himself. Wouldn't it be really funny if, like... especially since he, like, blasts you on sight. Wouldn't it be really funny if getting hit by that turned you into a crystal statue and then it's just like, well, game over, start over. You're not coming back from that one until somebody else rescues you, and we've established that every other dragon is useless, so... I'm not sure when the best window of opportunity to grab this guy is. Probably right there. That works. So are we putting that much treasure on the path? Absolutely. Ow, my bones. I have a key, please let me use it. Well, that was very rude. And I lost my key. And then I got my key. Okay, how do I use this? Oh, it goes back here. Whoops. Unfortunately, I was unable to distinguish the keys by their cut. Oh well, this is fine. Nice leisurely stroll collecting money off the ground. Okay, that snake path thing is probably the best chance to roast him. There we go. Okay, this one will work, right? If memory serves, if you run out of life during this at any point, you have to start the entire thing over. So it's actually quite brutal, because if memory serves, there are no health pickups. For now, I will settle for picking up all the gemstones. Because I don't want to be distracted by them on the next lap. I bet it's probably possible to like one-cycle them. But that's a bit beyond my current skill level. Right, and And much like an egg thief, he needs to be run down and flamed. Well, that's me getting greedy. It's fine, I was just tactically reselling Sparks' life bar. In a way that was actually a massive setback, tactically. Tactical setback. Get roasted, nerd. Where was that door? There it is. There we go. To be fair, the entire reason that like I lost health previously is because Nasty got a bunch of free shots on me. That won't happen again. Man is very fast. That totally splashed off of his body. I should have gotten that one. Oh well. And then we ran in circles for an hour. I'm actually doing claw grip right now. So that I can flame, like, at a moment's notice. Oh god, this segment, right. If you take too long here, you just fail, because the platforms disappear, and they don't come back. Ow, my bones. Get roasted, nerd. Oh, he's dead.
You're toast, Nork. Sorry I took so long. Almost forgot about you guys.
What about Ganasty Ganork?
Nasty Nork is toast.
So now there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom?
Well, mostly. I've still got some treasure to find.
What will you do next?
I'd say the sky's the limit.
And that's Spyro, but we're not done yet. We'll let the credits run, but then there's like a 100% completion level, which like actually completes the game. And I'm pretty sure I grabbed everything along the way. So it should just let me straight in. We get a bunch of cute art. Yeah, we get a bunch of cute art along the way. At least I think it's a bunch. It might just be this one. You know, for all the effort that Spyro's putting in, he's really not making the other guy's job any easier. Because, like, the other guy has to carry everything that Spyro is carrying plus Spyro. Also, I just realized all the other dragons are wearing clothing except for Spyro. Like, I'm just mentally going down the list of dragons. Is Spyro the only one that wasn't wearing anything? Then again, I guess Spyro does have his sunglasses. So I'm just thinking to myself, do you think that I should do like Spyro 2 some other time? Or do you think I should just like segue directly into Spyro 2 and do like all 3 in a row? The fact that those horns are punching through the helmet implies it was built for somebody without horns. Oh wait, they could have taken it from an orc. Never mind. I was gonna be like, what are the lore implications here? I also wonder how many people are just playing Deltarune today, because it came out today. And apparently instantly became the highest selling game of all time on Steam. Oh, it looks like Spyro tried to make a plate, and it failed. That's unfortunate. A fun fact, if you try to do pottery and you don't, like, really meticulously squeeze out all the air pockets, when you try to fire it, it will explode. And, like, while I am an advocate for, like, explosions and chaos, like, it'd probably be a little bit heartbreaking if you put that much effort into something and then just, like, it exploded. I enjoy how much of a gremlin Spyro is in these. I enjoy how much of a gremlin Spyro is in these credits images. Oh, I just realized the bigger dragon accidentally chopped the hand off the fairy. That's unfortunate. You can't control Z a statue. You know, a bunch of these are Spyro, like, doing creative things. I wonder if, like, in terms of what tribe Spyro's from, I wonder if he's an artisan. Like, that'd make sense, wouldn't it? Because, like, to begin with, he was in the artisan homeworld. Like, he really doesn't match, like, incredibly... There's something that, like, obviously marks him as one of the tribes, but, like, artisan probably makes the most sense. Studying how to fly. Good dragon. Just waiting for his wings to come in. I like how there's already a paper airplane in the mane of the guy in front of him, and he's getting ready with another one. He does not know how to quit while he's ahead. Now I'm envisioning a scenario where that guy's trying to like trick Spyro into hanging out on that platform. Just to keep him out of trouble for an hour at a time. It's like, okay, Spyro, sit on this thing. Wait to pop out. And then you can just leave him for an hour. Wait, Spyro's got a smartphone there. Also, I wonder what that beverage is. It's clearly magical. I wonder if magic tastes like carbonation. Spark's just lounging on like a pet bed. Imagine bringing Spyro Starbucks. The best part of it, you could take as long as you wanted. Because, like, when you bring it there, if it's not warm enough, Spyro can just warm it back up because he's a dragon. Imagine, for your birthday, you get like a really big cake, but then the cake contains Spyro the Dragon. That would be a surprise. I like how they threw in a shout out to the people who worked on the originals. Like, maybe they had to, but like, if they didn't, that's just good bean behavior. It's like, we're just following a trail. They blazed it. Boo, Activision. Yeah, Activision's not the best company in the world, to put it diplomatically. But I'm mostly focusing my praise on the developers, who for the most part don't really have a choice in who the publisher is. Now I'm just imagining publishers like evil entities that you have to contract with. They're a lot less necessary these days, which is a good thing. But a lot of them own intellectual property. So like if you want to make something with that IP, you have to go through them. You need their permission. Which kind of sucks. Like, imagine if you decided that somebody was like not handling your favorite character right, and then you could just be like, you know what, screw it, I'm taking them. It's like, I'll show you how to do it right. technically can, but then they can, like, sue you for it. It all comes down to capitalism in the end. Like, the obvious downside is that, like, it might dilute the quality if, like, a bunch of people make things with it that aren't very good. Kind of like how, for a long time, Unity, the game engine, was... It kind of had, like, a bad reputation for bad games. And then it got a bad reputation for, really, really, really stupid and exploitative business practices that they didn't actually manage to reap the benefits of because the backlash was so bad, they had to roll them back. But the cat was already out of the bag. I can't imagine what was going through their heads trying to, like, change a contract retroactively. Like, there's no point to a contract if you can do that. Like, how on earth did they think that that would ever work? It's like, precedent like that, I just go to, like, my phone carrier and I'm just like, hey, you know that contract where, like, I get this for that? I've changed it. Retroactively, you owe me $5 million. Because we live in a world where contracts can be one-sidedly, retroactively retconned, apparently, according to Unity. You know, all the people here in this segment are player support. I actually wonder what player support entails. Like, what's the description of the umbrella that all of these people are under? Just something about Unity? Yeah, no, they massively backpedaled. They were just like, oh, no, you misinterpreted it. We phrased it poorly. We apologize for that. And then they, like, laid their heads low for a little bit. But I think they recently did something else really scummy. I can't remember exactly what, because I stopped following Unity stuff after the first time. I, like, uninstalled Unity Hub and I got Unreal instead. I really should start chipping away at the games I want to make. I keep saying that I want to make games and I've got, like, all the tools I need to make games. I just need to allocate the time to actually do it. All of them, yeah. The main problem that I'm running into right now is that, like, I'm playing catch up with a bunch of things that I should have been doing all along. But, like, even, like, an hour a day in Unreal would probably go a really long way. Yeah, exactly. Progress is progress. Every step I take is a step I don't have to take in the future. Unless Unreal tries to retroactively change the contract after I've already agreed to it, and then I have to start over again on Godot. Which is open source. They can't pull that stuff on it. Actually, maybe I should use Godot instead of Unreal. Main reason to use Unreal is that it's got better support for 3D stuff. And a much larger community, so it's easier to find like resources and tutorials and such. Actually, you know what, screw it. I'm going to look into Godot, see what it has to offer. Because like in general, open source stuff is way better, I find. They're not incentivized to like cut out really useful features to like make it a paywalled service later. Speaking of open source, I'm still pleasantly baffled that Blender is free software. It's such a ludicrously powerful program. Like, you can voluntarily give them money, but there's not a single thing in Blender that you can't do for free. No sheep were harmed during the creation of this game. A few Norks, but no sheep. Thank you for playing. Thank you so much for helping me to play this game. Thank you for making this game. Oh, I love your dogs. Can I pet your dogs? It's like, hold on. Where's my cursor? Oh shoot, this is a full screen game. I can't actually... I would move myself over to pet the dogs, but I can't. The adventure continues. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I think this is the final dragon. And then we can go in there. And that's like the true end. Anyway, 5-minute break. Please use this time to refill your beverage, go to the bathroom, anything that would take you approximately 5 minutes. See you shortly. I return. By my estimate, that was closer to 6 or 7 minutes than 5. I shall face the consequences. Magnus.
Nasty's ancient history now. So, what's in there?
I believe this is Nasty's treasure hoard, but the gate will only open if you have found everything in the Dragon Kingdom. Come back when you have reached 100%.
Have I not reached 100%? Oh shoot, I forgot a world back in the Dreamweavers. Whoops. That's embarrassing.
Need a lift?
But yeah, the reason why the break took a little bit longer than it should have is I was fighting for my life against the skin of an orange. He did not want to come off. You figured I knew? Bold assumption. Okay. Dark Passage, Lofty Castle, Haunted Towers, Icy Flight. Let's find something that isn't any of those. If memory serves, Dark Passage is one of those, so not going in there. Icy Flight is there. I've done that one. Wait. Oh, I didn't do Jacques. That's what I didn't do. Whoops. I figured that I'd done that, I figured that I'd done that last time. I think I even checked the guidebook, but I was thinking to myself, oh, it's 5 worlds per hub. But the hub is listed like a world, so I saw 4 worlds in the hub, and I was like, 5 worlds, I'm done here. Luckily, it's a correctable mistake. Which is my favorite kind of mistake. The true final boss of Spyro 1, Jacques. I oppose him not because he's on the side of evil, but because he's French. I got swatted. It can't be fly swatted though, because Spyro can't fly. You know, out of all the things that can fly, the one that actually got called Fly, I feel like he's one of the least deserving. Like, that's a pretty premium name if you think about it. Speaking of flying, Imagine a world where, like, flying is what you do when you put marks on paper. Because writing is what you do when you ride a machine into the air. Nice 5, nice. We gratefully accept this offer of us. My depth perception isn't necessarily the best, but at least I got the key. So, like, I've won a moral victory. Possibly. If you've got some really, really weird morals. But, like, I am a kitsune, so that would be on brand. Ow. Let's just make use of this key while we can. Let's stick our little dragon snoot down here. Never mind, that's where the boss is. We're not ready for him yet. That's not a detour, that's the main attraction. Alright, round 3. There we go. Yeah, that's a very pretty crystal thing. I think it'd be nice to have like a room that's lit by this. Like, imagine a nice quiet evening. There's like a nice, there's a really nice light downpour outside. You're reading a book by the light of your frankly enormous crystal. Speaking of, sounds boring. You don't like reading.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Take care.
You prefer reading without crystals? But like, crystals make everything better. Except medicine. If somebody tries to use crystals in your medicine, find a doctor, like a real one. Sorry, I'm just peeling apart the orange here. Normally, I don't really have difficulty with oranges. But that particular batch had like really tough skin for some reason. Like, I spent the whole break trying to just get like the outer part off. now I'm still having trouble separating the individual wedges. That's my knives. That's the best part. I actually did have to use a knife to get into it. Also, fun fact, once upon a time I was trying to chop a potato into fries, and I nearly sliced the tip of my thumb off. Because potatoes are rounded, and it like deflected the knife off at a weird angle when I put pressure down. And unfortunately, the thing to the side of the knife was the hand I was trying to hold. Sorry, the thing to the side of the potato was the hand that I was trying to hold the potato with. So, like, in retrospect, could have been executed just a little bit more competently. But, you know, cooking is just as much art as it is science, so... From a certain point of view, I nearly cut the tip of my thumb off. But from another point of view, I had a very unique culinary experience.
Any advice before this battle?
Advice? A wise dragon once told me aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
All dragons, wonderful. He's handing out gift subs, get down. It's like, no, those streamers are cringe, I don't want to be subbed to them, stop it. Granted. Glass house, stones. It is very fast. Perish. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, that should be everything. That should actually be 100%. 1,200 gems for 100% feels right. Luckily, there's a very simple and at-hand way to check. Alright, nasty salute. This is basically the victory lap. You say it's a weird lap, but a cat would definitely sit on it. Now, the really nice thing about Nasty's loot, you can actually fly freely here. Well, not entirely freely. I think you can... I think you can only go as high as what a jump off of where you jump from would take you. Also, there are some pretty massive holes in the level geometry there. But that looks like a deliberate aesthetic choice, so I'm not gonna, like, roast them for it. A little bit of an oopsie holding forward too hard. But yeah, for the most part, this level is just a delightful collection of high-tier gems. Go forth, hoard all the wealth. Got our hands on a key, always a win. Now, that person mocking me and still being alive. A little bit less of a win. But I can fix that. Should have been 500 red gems. Why is that? It's like, that wouldn't be very cathartic after more to collect. I mean, there's still plenty to collect. There's, I think, 3,000 gems in here. Like, that's a pretty substantial, number. 3,000 reds, that's far too much. Like, yes, I would do it, but being expected to do it is a different matter. Get wrecked. I was about to say something like, is it get wrecked if? But I didn't actually have an if. It's like I can't envision a scenario where that wouldn't have been getting wrecked. Oh, we have released the biplane. That said... No, wait, that's not a biplane. Which is good, because destroying something by during Pride Month would have been a weird look, if nothing else. Get wrecked. That one was pretty straightforward. Disregard that I spent entirely too long flying around actually trying to find it. I think you went this way? Yes, he did. Luckily, I'm so narrow, I'm very aerodynamic. I'm narrow dynamic. Get wrecked. Love to see it. Serendipitously timed, no less. A single yellow gem. The main reward there is probably meant to be the flight height increase. Wait, was it 3,000? It might not be 3,000. I could have sworn it was 3,000. Well, I suppose we're gonna find out, so... Alright, what am I missing? If you recognize this, this is the room from the start of the game, where Nasty Nork was like watching TV and getting upset at the interview. Also, there's a bunch of demotivational posters all over the walls. Quite a large sum of very valuable gems. You love to see it. Okay, it was 2,000. 100% Nasty's loot. Imagination rhymes with devastation. Patience is for dragons. Knowledge is the power to turn dragons to crystal. You know, that answers my, that actually answers a debate from an earlier stream. It's like, what are the dragons, like what exactly happened to them? They are transmuted into crystal. They're not coated in crystal, it's not diamond. Practice, it's not about being the best, it's about destroying everybody else. I can get behind that one. Confidence. There's nothing standing between you and your goal but a little tiny purple dragon. Teamwork is for Norks who can't do it themselves.
Spyro the Dragon, you've defeated Ganasty Ganork, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Nork and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go again.
And that's the true ending. And so the adventure continues. Unfortunately, this door doesn't open even if you 100% the game. Yeah, yeah, there's really no post-game per se. Like, you can run around and explore the worlds. They're very pleasant worlds, but not really a whole lot left to do. At least in this game. This is a trilogy after all. So I guess the question I want to ask myself is, do I move directly onto Ripto's Rage? Like, do I want to do the whole trilogy in one go? Only 30 minutes? Yeah, like I could start Ripto's Rage. I could call stream early for the night. If I start Ripto's Rage, I'm kind of committing to Ripto's Rage. But at the same time, I'm willing to commit to Ripto's Rage. I love that game. You know what? I'm gonna do Ripto's Rage. I can at least start Ripto's Rage. I want to do the whole thing. Let's do it like this. Change the game category to Ripto's Rage and change my label from Spyro the Dragon to Spyro Remake Trilogy.
Is this rain ever gonna stop? I've forgotten what the sun looks like. We should go on vacation. Somewhere warm. Somewhere sunny. Dragon Shores, yeah! I haven't been there since we kicked Nasty Nork's butt. How about it, Sparks? You up for a vacation at the beach? Last one there's a Nork!
Is it working, Professor?
Almost. Just a few more adjustments to these orbs and...
Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Bringing a dragon here could just make Ripto more angry.
Calm down, Hunter, and stop fidgeting.
But you saw the professor's book. They have claws like this, and teeth like this, and they can spit fire like this. They sound much more dangerous than Ripto.
That's exactly the point. A dragon is our only chance of stopping Ripto, and you know it.
It's working! It's working! I've got a dragon!
Huh? Whoa! Rough landing. Hi, which way's the beach? Hey, stop staring. Haven't you guys ever seen a dragon before?
You're a dragon?
You got a problem with that, pussycat?
Well, well. Someone forgot to invite me to the party. Were you trying to keep something from me? A dragon? You brought a dragon to Avalar? I hate dragons. Yeah! Crush! Kill it! Kill it! Go, you imbecile! You ate my scepter! I'll deal with you later!
Who was that jerk?
That was Ripto, and we have to get rid of him. He's causing all sorts of trouble around here, but I haven't got time to explain. Here, take this magic guide to Avalar. It'll help you begin to understand our worlds. Right now, I have to follow Ripto and see what he's up to. I'll meet you in Summer Forest, okay?
Hey, wait a minute! How do we get ourselves into these messes, pal?
Very weird dogs. I don't know what the professor's supposed to be. Hunter's a cheetah and Elora's a fawn. Also, because I've 100%ed Ripto's Rage before, I've got permanent Super Flame. Wait, was that a car revving by that came through on mic?
Hi, Spyro! Welcome to Glimmer! Unfortunately for us, a mob of lizards just showed up and started stealing all of our gems! Can you stop them?
Yes, I can. Okay, I'm gonna have to like double check some settings because that shouldn't have come through. But yeah, in my opinion, Ripto's Rage is a huge step up from the original game. And I already love the original game, so... Something that I think is kind of interesting is that they actually start you in a world rather than in a hub. Like, if memory serves, the reason is they came to Glimmer specifically to summon a dragon because there's so many gems here that, like, it would be, like, more likely to attract a dragon, magically speaking. And then Spyro shows up and loots the place to the bedrock, so it's like, they weren't wrong. Also, I'm pretty sure enemies don't inherently drop gems in this game. So if you can avoid them, I don't think you need to hunt them down and slaughter them to the last. Which is probably for the best, because it can be a pain to keep track of which ones you have killed and which ones you haven't killed if you die and everything respawns.
Hi, Spyro. I'm a friend of Alora's, and she asked me to help you out. Whenever you find me, I'll remember your progress. Like this. That zap means that if you get into trouble, I'll return you to this place. See you around.
Also, I cannot remember if I said it, but like, during the opening cutscene, if Zoe had just flown off with the scepter, instead of like, flying around and trying to talk them, that would have just solved the entire plot on the spot. It's like Ripto would still have Crush and Gulp, but like he wouldn't have access to his magic. And like, dude's a manlet. His magic's all he's got.
You must be the dragon everyone's talking about. Well, dragon or not, I'm afraid there is a small fee to open the bridge. It will cost you 100 of your gems to cross.
I do have the money.
Thank you, Mr. Dragon. Spyro, was it? You can now use the bridge whenever you want, free of charge. I hope we meet again when you have even more gems.
My man, it is not free of charge if you charged me to use it. I like his little flinch animation in the remake. If I could climb...
Gem cutters are a bit too short to climb these ladders, and it looks like you are too. After you learn to climb, come back to Glimmer to see me.
I was gonna say, if I could climb, I could get up there. Unfortunately, the only upgrade that I retained from another... Oh.
Look around, press the action button. Try using action to look around this cave.
The only power-up that I retained from the alternate timeline is Super Flame. would be really cool if I could also super fly. Just break the game wide open.
Spyro, thanks for helping us fight off the lizards. Please take this talisman of glimmer as a sign of our gratitude. This magic portal next to me will take you to Summer Forest, one of the homeworlds of Avalar.
So, Spyro now has a pickaxe. From a certain point of view, this is now Minecraft. But yeah, like, this is technically a New Game Plus. It probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal to give me access to Super Flame. Or Super Flight, rather. Oh hey, Super Flight.
Great! The Super Flight power-up is active, and you can restart our gem lamps. Flame all the lamps quickly, and the big gem lamp will light. The power-up will give you enough magic to fly for a short time.
Oh, I remember now. These power-ups are powered by the souls of the enemies in the level. That's the incentive to kill them in this game. You need to kill enough people to turn it on.
These little lizards have eaten my entire crop of gems. I've tried hitting them with rocks, but they're too fast for me. You can try using one of my rocks. If you have any questions, just ask me.
You fool, I'm a dragon.
Nice shooting. Follow me to the next lizard.
I don't need rocks. I have dragon flame. But yeah, like, generally the worlds in this game are, I feel like, larger, have more things in them to do. And with the upgrades, there's a little bit of backtracking that's kind of obligatory in places. So, like, you can't necessarily get everything in one go, for better or for worse. I've personally never really had a problem with it. Oh, is this guy leading me to all the lizards? Wonderful. He probably said something like follow me and I just forgot. Oh well. Aesthetically, I absolutely love this level. I'm a huge sucker for gemstones. Especially when they're big and shiny and, like, embedded in things. Like, I feel like it's an aesthetic that a lot of, like... What's the word I'm looking for? It's an aesthetic that a lot of, like, really crappy mobile games have kind of ruined. But I still like it.
Yay! You've saved my crop of gems from the lizards. Here, take this orb. Some girl with wings dropped it here yesterday.
Girl with wings could be Zoe the Fairy, could be a VTuber. Hard to say. But yeah, orbs are the primary collectible of this game. In the first game it was crystallized dragons, in this game it's orbs. In the third game it's dragon eggs. Actually, that might not be entirely true. The primary collectible in this game actually I think is talismans, but like, orbs are really important.
Lamp, Spyro. A fairy gave me this orb, but I like gems better. You take it instead.
Wonderful. Orbs. But yeah, I don't know if I can actually finish this level without climb. And I'm not going to stress myself out about it. Like, I might be able to glitch my way up there. But it's easier to just do it right. Easier to just do it right. Yeah, enunciate.
Oh no! Oh, hello. We didn't get a chance to introduce ourselves before. My name is Alora.
Hi. I'm Spyro. What are you, some kind of goat?
I'm a fawn, you dork.
Oh, sorry.
Did you meet the gem cutters in Glimmer?
Yeah, they gave me a souvenir too. They called it a talisman.
They gave you a talisman?
What, is it special? I just stuck it in the guidebook you gave me.
Well, there are 14 talismans in Avalar, and they are all magical. If you can collect enough of them, they can be used to defeat Ripto. Hunter, where have you been?
Oh, I got a little lost.
Spyro's gonna help us collect the talismans.
I am?
He is.
Spyro, look. There's no way you can get to Dragon Shores right now. Ripto and his monsters have taken over the castle here in the Summer Forest. You're going to have to go to Avalar's worlds and convince the inhabitants to give you their talisman. You can keep them in your guidebook.
Hey, I could do that. Why doesn't the dragon just torch Ripto?
Hunter, you can't even keep track of your running shoes. How can we trust you with 14 talismans? If you come across any orbs, they're important too. But I'll tell you about them later.
Okay, no problem. I'll collect a few talismans, give Ripto the old hot foot, and be in Dragon Shores by lunchtime.
But yeah, like, that right there is like my singular complaint with this entire trilogy. In the original, Elora was quite a lot sassier. Like, I'm a fawn, you dork. In this one, she just like completely brushes it off very cutely. Also, Spyro's a little bit bigger, and he can swim now. It is not instant death for him to take a bath. Which, come to think of it, was very cat-like behavior. More proof that dragons are just cats. I also like how at a glance you can see what you've got from a world. That's really, really nice quality of life.
Spyro, this is the homeworld called Summer Forest. There are portals to many of the Avalar worlds around here. Unfortunately, Ripto has taken over the castle, and we need your help. Start by retrieving the talismans from each of the worlds you visit.
Oh yeah, I'm rotating. I had gone the entire stream in peace. But now I've been subject to rotation. But yeah, we finished up Spyro 1. And I was like, what shall I do here? And then I decided that the answer to that question was just move directly onto Spyro 2. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Oh, you know, I made hot chocolate during the break 47 minutes ago and then totally forgot about it. Whoops.
Hey, Spyro. Ripto smashed this bridge, so I guess you'll have to glide across it. Press the jump button, then press jump again while you're still in the air to glide.
I would make fun of him for teaching me something very obvious. Especially since I had to go through Glimmer to get here. But I think I actually started with Spyro 3. So like, you never really know when somebody's entry point to the series is. I can still make a little bit of fun of him for it, though.
Sorry, Spyro. I'd love to teach you how to swim underwater, but not as much as I'd love to take your treasure.
500 gems. Like, as a person, I hate money bags. But like, as a mechanic, I kind of appreciate that he gives you a reason to collect gems. Because like, in the first game, you're kind of doing it just because they're there. And like, it's on brand. But in this game, it's like, okay, you actually need enough of them to unlock major game mechanics.
Hi, Spyro. You look like you're pretty agile. Let's try putting it to a test. See if you can get up this first step. Press the jump button and hold it down to get more hang time. Okay, not bad. Now to make this next jump, you'll have to glide. Press the jump button, then press jump again at the top of your jump to get the maximum glide distance. Nice job! Now, try to do a hover. Press the jump button, then press jump again to glide. When you reach the end of your glide, press the action button to hover. Hovering will give you extra height and distance.
Okay, so that was introduced in this game. I thought that was in Spyro 3.
Very good. Now for the hardest leap of all. You'll have to give this one everything you've got. Get a walking start, jump, glide, and hover just before you get to the edge of the platform. Don't forget to press forward on the left stick when you hover. Wow, you're a pretty good athlete. If I hadn't lost my running shoes, I'd take you on for real. For now, here's an orb for your collection.
I love how it sounds like an excuse, but when Hunter does get his running shoes, he's absolutely terrifying. He is so ludicrously fast. Not terrifying in like a Rara Tiger kind of way. More just like, oh, he's actually as good as he claims to be.
Sparks, the dragonfly following you around is your health indicator, Spyro. The brighter he is, the more hit points you have.
It'd be nice if Super Flaming Moneybags just made him die and unlocked everything that he gatekeeps. Anyway, I don't think that I can proceed further without going into another world. So I think what I'm going to do is call it there for the night. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it each and every time. Next scheduled stream is going to be on Friday. The game is going to be Metroid Prime. The next time I'm playing Spyro is going to be on next Wednesday. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful night, and I hope to see you again. Good night.